saw it in Sydney. I saw it in French the other night, actually.
Oh, really? What was that?
It was amazingly. I could have watched the whole thing. It just showed how cleverly Brad puts the story into focus. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
It was entirely in French.
Yeah.
I was dubbed as well.
Really? What's that like, hearing someone else do your voice?
It was initially disconcerting, but it was actually very well done, I thought.
You got used to it? You
Yeah.
haven't started trying to kind of mimic that voice?
No.
No.
What was weird was Leia Seydoux had to dub herself in French, which was very
Really?
strange. Yeah.
Oh, cool. The weird thing, of course, watching it is how I'm scared of heights, so I was just absolutely petrified watching
I bet,
it.
yeah.
Do you find it scary watching it, even though you were there and you kind of saw? I mean, I guess it is still scary because the stunts are real. They're not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
and in IMAX as well, you get a real sense of the height, and your stomach kind of turns over.
Yeah.
When I was there, it was like imagine watching Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol live.
Right.
That was terrifying because I didn't, I went up there to see how it was being done, and I mean, geez, we didn't know if it was going to make it to the end of the day. Obviously, it's hanging off the tallest building in the world. Yeah. The best stunt coordination you could possibly wish for. A hive of very, very intense men all on, holding cables, but it was still terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, it is still, the biggest movie star in the world hanging off a building.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to do this.
Well, weirdly, that's why he's the biggest movie star in the world,
Yeah.
because he cares so much about what the audience get from the films, that he just utterly wants to deliver something worth the the admission fee, and so he does things like that.
Yeah.
He's a nutcase.
Yeah.
In the best possible way, though,
Yeah, no, it's true. And the one thing that I really liked about the film was there's a lot more humour in it than previous films. And having spoken to Jeremy, Brad and Paul, they've all said this is all thanks to you. They've all been very... was this something that was in the script, or did you kind of decide to improvise and bring humour to various scenes?
Well, Josh and Andre, who wrote the film, said initially, let's have some fun with it and be loose and bring something of yourself. So, but the script was already in place, and the characters are really well drawn. And I think Jeremy's very funny as well, and I love it when Tom breaks, when Ethan just gives a little bit of humanity, because he's such a machine, and Tom plays him like that. That it's a real sort of joy to see Ethan crack a funny, But I think what Brad Bird does really well is punctuate really exciting action with comedy, because it just enables you to breathe. Because otherwise it's kind of tense, and there's a lot of, I was saying there's a lot of emphasis on darkness these days. Everything's got to be dark. Like dark is suddenly the thing. And it isn't necessarily always the way to do things, Action can be fun. Action can be thrilling and funny at the same time, and Brad's a genius at that.
But also, I mean, in real life, in tricky or difficult or, like even life-threatening situations, we do tend to use humour as a defence mechanism and laugh about these things.
Yeah, that's what Brad says. Brad says, it's a human tendency to make jokes in peril, So that's kind of what the film does.
Yeah, and obviously you get to hold a gun this time and bring some action. Did you kind of leave Hot Fuzz lying around so that JJ and Tom could see that you are a man of action?
I would, I kind of kept saying, can I do, maybe Benji has to fight here, but Benji's been in the field now for about 2 missions. This is probably his 3rd mission, we decided. And, for him to suddenly be a super badass, I think would have been slightly unbelievable. So, maybe if we do another one, you'll see Benji come on a little more. But in this one, his function in the group is to marshal all the gadgets and hack into all the elevator shafts and stuff. And, he's not quite Ethan level yet. He's about level 2. Yeah.
So which Mission Impossible film would you be the lead? Would it be Mission Impossible 7? Do you think by then is he going to be ready? Is it going to be?
Yeah, Mission Impossible 8 or 9.
Right.
I don't know if Tom is ever gonna.
Right.
I'm gonna look older than Tom soon. He kind of seems to stay at a level. I don't know how he does it, but
it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And is there any truth to the Hot Fuzz 2 rumours?
No, I think Nick was talking about the fact that we're going to make another film together,
right,
as soon as it's humanly possible. We are very hopeful that we can start work on it soon. But I think what Nick probably said was it's a follow-up to Hot Fuzz, not a sequel.
Right.
It's like the 3rd film in that series. Yeah. So no, there won't be a Hot Fuzz 2.
Gotcha. Yeah. Misquoted again.
I know. Poor guy. He was on the phone to me yesterday going, oh man, you can't say anything these days. People just take it all out of proportion.
I mean, it's been an amazing year for film, and what a way to end the year with this. I mean, we've said in our review, people should miss Christmas dinner to go and see this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
What other films have you seen this year that you've enjoyed? What would be your film of the year?
God, you know what? It's been such a difficult year for going to the cinema for me because of work, and also, you know, when you have a young one, it's hard to get out. So I'd have to really think. You'd have to like stop the camera and let me remember what. I'd have to see a list of films.
Okay.
Attack the Block was a great highlight of the year for me. Not just because it was kind of the home team, but I think it was a great movie and really good fun to watch. You know, and. I think Joe Cornish did a great job, and I love going to see Nick in a film when I'm not in it. So that was the real highlight of the year for me.
Are you able to remove yourself when you see a really close friend like that in a film? Are you able to kind of...
you can. Well, it's always a testament to the quality of the film if you can. You know, I saw Tyrannosaur as well. It's an amazing film, and you know, I know the people involved in that film, and yet I was so caught up in it and found it so moving. It was a piece of work.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Cheers, James. Good to see you, mate.
Yeah,
you too. You too.